What's up, guys? It's Rob from Heroes Avenue, and Darren's in the house. We are talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it is the spoiler review. So just in case you haven't seen it, you better go do that, because we are going to be talking all things Zack Snyder's Justice League, no holds barred, all the things that we had to hold back on in our spoiler-free review. So check that out if you haven't seen the movie. So before we get started, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and just know this is not the last video on the Zack Snyder's Justice League that we're doing. We want to do a live stream soon, so anything we don't cover, or if there's points that you have that we didn't get across in this review, drop them down in the comments. We're going to pull those up for the live stream. So yeah, and before we get started, check out the topics for today. Review. So Darren, your overall thoughts for Zack Snyder's Justice League?
Whew, man. I mean, we made it, man. Like, this is the movie we've been waiting for, and it exceeded my expectations. It's 4-hour long of DC juices. And
DC
man,
juices.
I'm gonna keep sucking on.
All right, I'm gonna quote that. I am gonna quote that. All you guys heard it. Make your memes.
If this movie was like a grapefruit or like a orange juice, man, I'm gonna keep drinking this juices all day long. Man, this movie is so good. I mean, you got character development, you got crazy motivations, you got some backstory, and then you got some crazy chemistry with the league. And the stakes are real in this movie. And man, Zack Snyder, he put so much in this movie. I mean, considering he put the nightmare scene for us, man, it's so much to watch, and I only watched it twice. I'm gonna watch it for a third time again today, and yeah, this is everything I wanted it to be.
Yeah, and I gotta say that is gonna go down as one of the weirdest analogies I've ever seen in my life, but just to give you guys, we were overall thoughts. You know, you heard our overall thoughts in our last review, but what I wanted to point out is that, man, this is a journey, a long time coming. Today I was reflecting. I saw some people on Twitter post up people like John Schnepp, who was like, man, one of my YouTube heroes for the longest time, and I just want to say, man, you know, shout out to John Schnepp and all those people who were supporters of Zack Snyder back in the day, and whoever thought we would have gotten here, right? So we are celebrating Zack Snyder's Justice League Day, and it is amazing. I got to catch Kevin Smith's most of his kind of interview with Zack for the red carpet last night. It was amazing. We've learned a lot of details, and just so you guys know, I don't think this is going to be the end of the Zack Snyder's Justice League universe discussions, because he sets up so much in this movie, and that's what we're going to get into right now. So overall thoughts, I loved it, and we're going to talk about all of that. So here we go. So what do you mean, or what specifically did you want to talk about in terms of uniting the league?
Yeah, I mean, it just exactly what it says. It's just how the team got together, and
how,
like, right, and like what they were dealing with before they joined the league, and how, like, what the league kind of meant for all of them. Because I mean, if you know, the first few hours of the movies was basically their backstory, and you know, each hero had their own individual issues that they're dealing with. I mean, you got Aquaman as an outcast. You got Cyborg dealing with his disability, or
for sure,
his, like, his situation, and with his relationship with his father, and then Barry Allen and so forth. And I feel like all that, like, was very necessary to see, and like the scenes were very fleshed out, where you could really, like, relate to each one in a way.
Yeah.
And then once they, like, join the league, it's kind of like they're overcoming their issues, or like they're accepting themselves, and they want to kind of, like, prove themselves that they are better.
Good point. Yeah.
Right. And so I feel like we all been in that situation, and I feel like once they finally unite, the chemistry with the team is real, and that's something that Whedon's cut, like, couldn't do, because of the 2-hour limit. For sure. So it's much more magical in this movie.
Yeah, you know what? I would even push back against that in only this way. you know, the 2 hour limit did a lot of things, but I think the chemistry that Joss Whedon tried to create was a lot different. He tried to put it in there, but it was a lot different. You know, well, one, he did cut out things. He cut out you know, the scenes where Arthur was, you know, relaying to Barry that he did care about how Cyborg was feeling. He cut out and changed up dialogues in certain ways. So I really think, yeah, I think you know, you hit on a good point where all of them dealing with their individual issues, and I thought that was done really well because you know you would think in a 4 hour movie to introduce and give each of the six characters an arc and some meaning, that's hard to do. But I felt like Zack did it as best anyone can do in this movie. And you're right. You were able to feel that camaraderie with the League, and especially by the end, you know, everyone kind of accepted themselves. You know, I think especially, you know, yeah, I think every character did that. You know, what pops into mind automatically is the Flash, just his little speech as he veered into the Speed Force, and I don't want to. We'll talk about that later, but
yeah, during that scene, like
oh yeah,
like that, yeah.
There were some tear-jerking moments for sure in this movie. So yeah, uniting the League, it really did feel like this was Justice League, and that's a point that a lot of people I think are going to hit home. Like this was the realized version. This was the version that all of us imagined we could get out of a Zack Snyder directed Justice League movie. Darkseid's war scene. Tell us about that. What's your thoughts on that? Because Darkseid was obviously one of the biggest appeals of this cut, especially to people who didn't know about this movie. If you just show them a picture of Darkseid in this movie, they know that this is a new movie. And that's what I did a lot on social media, on my personal Instagram at least. So yeah, tell us about Darkseid and especially the war scene.
Yeah, I mean, that whole invasion is like the first invasion, right? Like, the fact that they swapped Darkseid in the Whedon cut with Steppenwolf it's crazy.
Yeah.
To know that, and so I feel like seeing Darkseid actually like try to invade Earth and fight against all the old gods and Atlanteans was very I feel like very necessary for backstory.
Yes.
Especially like trying to explain the mother box and like the anti-life equation. And yeah, we got more old gods like fight scenes in there. We got Ares, we got Zeus.
That was so sweet.
That was tight. That was super cool.
Why would you cut that out? Why would you cut out that?
I don't know. It was such a
mind-boggling.
Scene.
Mind-boggling. Zack Snyder did better Greek. You know, he hit harder on the Greek mythology than what Wonder Woman 1 did, and he did it so beautifully. Like, he didn't show it through animation. He showed it to you, and he showed the world of man and the Atlanteans, the Amazons uniting against this one foe. And if you know anything about what Zack's intentions were for the future of Justice League, which should be a topic in and of itself, and we'll probably talk about that in the future, then you know that it was going to come right around again. So he showed us that first time that man, Amazon, and Atlanteans came together to fend off the forces of Darkseid. But you know, it's back of your head, especially you've been covering the Snyder Cut, you read the storyboards, it was going to happen again future down the line. So it just, it kills me. And it just kills me how epic that sequence was. Like, you couldn't have fit like those few extra minutes in there to demonstrate the severity of this attack. And yes, to replace Darkseid with Steppenwolf, oh, come on. That was just so epic, dude.
They even brought back the actor that played Ares in Wonder Woman. Like, he played Ares. And that was
Did they really?
Crazy. Yeah, so it's him, but like they like CGI it.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Even like it's not that great in visual effects, but
yeah.
I mean, it's
well,
the same actor.
Yeah, go ahead.
He put the I guess
yeah.
I guess like an ox head or whatever. I don't know what it is, but he's the one that attacked Darkseid with that axe.
Wow.
Made him go back to his ship.
Well,
that was cool.
you know, you hit on something that I think is not going to get enough love, and I think Zack said there were like over 2,000 special effects. I can't remember the exact number that had to be done in 7 months, And for
Yeah, I think
that
it was like
reason,
6,
especially when you
something like that.
see, yeah, when you see the actual movie, like especially Darkseid, like from the very first little clip that we got of him, to be honest, I was a little skeptical. Like, okay, we're gonna have to deal with some wonky CGI,
Yeah,
but to be fair, I thought Darkseid looked amazing. And there were
yeah,
times, at points in the movie where the CGI was like a little off, but it's
yeah.
nothing to nitpick about, at least for me. But yeah,
Yeah, I think those scenes where like the CGI was kind of like iffy was more so like when they were talking about the future or like the past, or like when they had like a vision.
sure,
So you could kind of say like the reason why it was like the VFX wasn't that great is because like it's in the memory. It's
sure,
in the
yeah,
memory
no,
state.
and
But everything
yeah,
else that happened during like the present,
yeah.
like all the villains, like the CGI, the VFX was amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's funny. I saw when watching Zach's red carpet with Kevin Smith last night, or at least a post interview. He was talking about how he watched the movie fully about like 5 times, and each time he's like, "Hey, how did that get in there? How did that get in there?" It's
Yep.
like,
Yep.
so especially with the amount of time he had to make this, it's definitely something that you overlook some things, but to be honest, it was a great experience. Now, one
Yeah.
thing you got to point out about this scene is that it really sets up the backbone of the story with Diana
Yeah.
jumping down from the hill, not breaking her heels for some reason. It's funny because all the girls that have seen this movie and I think have commented on that. Even my girlfriend Fergie, we were watching the movie and she was like, "Why didn't her heels break when jumping down off that cliff?" It's funny that the little things that like only women will notice because they have to live in heels. But anyways, you get Diana. I thought that was an awesome scene in itself because it shows Diana and her kind of connection to the Amazons and her past, and when the story is told through her and those flashback sequences, it makes much more sense. I think in the Whedon cut, if I remember correctly, she told this story while walking with Bruce next to a lake, and it was such a dull scene. And
Yeah.
I try to stay away from the Whedon cut, but yeah, this
Yeah.
was
Try
much.
not to.
This is definitely Lord of the Rings esque, and
Yeah.
we got to see Green Lantern, we got to see the gods, and man, I need more of this. I need more
Of
of
course.
this type of storytelling. Yeah. So let's. And that scene alone has a lot of differences, but yeah,
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah. I really like this scene. I mean, even in the other cut, like I liked it. I still liked it, but this one took it to another level because one, Zack Snyder kind of upped the violence, in this movie, and I mean that was his initial intention, anyways. And so like, it was a lot more violent. The robbers or the bombers or whatever you call them, like they're a lot more intimidating, a lot more threatening in this movie. Like, literally, he shot the guy in the head, when he entered the building,
Yeah.
and like there's like blood splatter on the floor, and like literally you see like blood just kind of like bursting when getting headshot, and then just like Diana or Wonder Woman like bouncing off like the bullets off of her gauntlet. Just like with one hand, she was like doing this.
Yeah,
And, like,
it was pretty
I
awesome.
need
Yeah.
that. Like, that was tight.
Yeah.
And then like she like I guess she like punched someone, and then she like caught that dude, and then she threw him against the wall again. Oh my god! Like the action scenes was like crazy.
You know what I want to address now that you mention it? A lot of people are going to, a lot of people, not a lot of people, but a select few people are going to take issue with what you said. See, Zack Snyder makes movies that are not for kids or they're not kid friendly. He hates kids. But it's kind of ridiculous to think about things like that, guys, because one of our commenters posted on like, hey, because he went in here with the intention of making an adult film doesn't mean he hates kids. It just means he went in there with the intention of making a more adult film. Basically, that's essentially what it is. So you know, it doesn't mean he hates kids because he made an adult movie with violence. So in this regard, it's on the other coin of superhero movies where you got the Marvel movies, which will not dive too deeper into, or they won't show the graphic detail of superheroes killing or villains killing for the most part, but you get that in here, and I think it's really refreshing to see that. But yeah, the scene itself was awesome. It was a lot better, and you see Wonder Woman. She takes out the dude with her like gauntlet hit, and Roose Bolton just kind of just gets eviscerated. Yeah. So that scene.
I think she killed him, right?
she killed him, dude. She killed him. She definitely killed him. And you know what? That scene in itself was kind of weird. You know, I think he talked about, you know, sending civilization back to the Dark Ages or something like that. And I still don't know the motive, the intentions there. But you know, it's just a small time villain, and it's just meant to showcase Wonder Woman. But the heart of that scene was her telling the girl, "You could be whatever you want to be." And why would you take that out? I'm pretty sure he took that out. Joss Whedon took that out of the movie, right?
Yeah.
So
There is this one line that they changed up, that was different, was when it was your favorite line in the Whedon cut. It was when the guy was like, "Who are you? I'm a believer." Remember?
oh my god.
I remember you hated that line.
But
this time she said it differently. She said, I forgot what she said. She said like, "Believe it" or something.
Yeah, yeah. There were little differences in some of the dialogue. While some of the dialogue was the same throughout both movies, Whedon had changed things up to be delivered differently. And yeah, I mean, Wonder Woman's dialogue for the most part, dude. Wonder Woman, I loved Wonder Woman in this movie. And you know what's funny? There's a running joke about Wonder Woman and her dialogue, especially the "Kal-El, no," you know, line. You know, and people are gonna hate me for mentioning that. You know, I'm not making fun of her accent. Her delivery just was, it just didn't. I get all the jokes about it, and I laugh, but I accept it. You know, like, hey, I love everything about this movie, but that is that was the only like line that just was like, huh? I thought that was a reshoot at first, but no, it made it into the movie. So, but outside of that, no, Wonder Woman was awesome, and she displayed her heroism and her, you know. Just really what makes her like, I don't want to call, yeah, she's like the mom. Well, she's the only female in the group. She's the mom of the group. She has that hopefulness that Superman that doesn't, you know, when Superman's not there, she's the person carrying everything in terms of that, you know, her optimism, and I thought it was awesome. So yeah, that scene and that scene kind of just. Well, Amazon's versus Steppenwolf, and you know there were a lot of changes here too. Some changes that obviously don't make a lot of sense. Um, you know, the line just keeps ringing in my head, and I think you posted it on Twitter again recently. Show him your fear. We have no fear, bro. I just gets me. That shit gets me up so hard. That sounded wrong. It gets me hyped so much. It gets me hyped so much. You guys know what I mean. Yeah, that's just, dude, like the writing with Chris Terrio, the dialogue, everything. And even Steppenwolf just appeared way more menacing in his interactions with the Amazons. But yeah, what do you think about them?
Yeah, this exactly. Like, why would you remove that line? Like, show him your fear. We have, like, that is such an epic line. It gave me goosebumps when they said it. But yeah, like there's like this scene's it's a bit different, and it's more serious in when he comes to Earth. Literally, he chops Amazons in half. Like,
you guys can tell Darren likes the violence.
I love the realism.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
From space, like that's what I expect, right?
For sure.
That kind of violence, and I love how Zack doesn't hold back.
And you know what made a lot more sense too is that the Amazon sacrifice made a lot more sense because, dude, I think they closed the door in Whedon's cut and he just busts right through. Like, it made no sense. This being so powerful, of course he's just gonna bust right through. But here they close the door and like the whole building collapses into the water, and it just And yeah, you just get a lot more out of the scene. It's longer for sure, and you get, I think, a little bit more dialogue between them in there. But just it was the female 300 scene, and I think, and I think, you know, females like they see that. You see, you know, a little girl, if she was watching. I know a lot of families did end up watching this. Man, I would love for my daughter, who doesn't exist yet, but to see this as their role models. They're so powerful. They were not highly sexualized. You know, I think Joss Whedon did a lot of butt shots of Gal Gadot in his cut, but man, this was it was just amazing. So yeah, I mean, nothing more to say other than that sequence got its just due. Um, uh, yeah, you know what?
It's short and sweet, but
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
okay. I mean, I just put it in there because I mean,
No, no, we have to
it
talk
was
about it for sure.
yeah, it was something that we had to talk about. It is short, but I mean, Zach he did give us a live action Martian Manhunter
Yeah.
in a movie. So, good.
Oh yeah, okay. So one of the things I loved that Martian Manhunter, and I love how Swanwick was Martian Manhunter. I love that, and it looked like Zack's storyboard came to life. I was even telling Fergie I was doing one of those elbow things, just trying to like, hey, watch this, because I knew it was coming, and I knew she wasn't gonna know who the hell he was, and I was like, yeah, when he turned, I was like, oh, I got so hyped. And the design, yeah, the design was pretty awesome, especially with probably the time he had to make it. But one of the things that I was like a little iffy on was they call me Martian Manhunter. Like, come on, that's so on the nose, like with the dialogue at the
Yeah.
end. But I do like that he's in here, and the rumor is that apparently it just came out that Zack wanted to introduce not Hal Jordan. He did want Hal Jordan to be in this movie and Ryan Reynolds to be Hal Jordan, but that last scene was supposed to be the a lantern showing up, and it was supposed to be uh, which lantern was supposed to be John Stewart? Yeah, it was supposed to be John Stewart, but WB threatened him. They were like, "Hey, we'll shut this movie down if you guys do this." Yeah, so they this there was like talk about it on Twitter and social media yesterday, and I think Zack said that in an interview, so it was a quote from Zack. So he was supposed to introduce John Stewart. That was going to be his lantern, and he did want Ryan Reynolds to show up as Hal in the movie too. So that's something that was supposed to happen, but I think with WB wanting to do it themselves, Martian Manhunter was an awesome trade-off. I just think the dialogue at the end was a little on the nose in terms of they call me Martian Manhunter, but that's a super nitpick. I did love how Bruce Wayne, Ben Affleck was acting in there. He kind of was just scratching his head, not surprised, like, yeah, okay, I'll talk to you later. It was that just kind of exuded Bruce Wayne to me. Because the guy knows there's aliens out there, and he's, but if someone comes up and if someone tells you he's an alien, and he tells you that his name is Martian Manhunter, I would think that the Bruce Wayne from Batman v Superman would be a little skeptical, about. But he's not the Bruce Wayne from Batman v Superman. He is a changed Bruce Wayne apparently. So, but yeah, Martian Manhunter. I thought it was. I'm glad that we got to see Henry Lennox become the Martian Manhunter. I thought that was awesome, and I hope we get more of them. Yeah. Yeah, man.
So this could be like everything from from Star Labs to the farm.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this was a pretty cool scene. I didn't like it. I didn't like how Whedon did it in his version. I feel like this one was a lot better. Like with Barry running, and then I feel like it was just a lot better. And then you get cyborgs like Vision.
Yeah. Oh, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's dead. Like what?
Dead. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
That was crazy. And then you get Superman. He's under the anti-life equation.
Yeah.
Like. And
oh yeah.
Holding. I'm assuming Lois Lane.
Oh yeah, that's Lois Lane. That's Lois Lane. Because the storyboards. Okay, go ahead.
And then you see Darkseid's hand on Superman's
Sure.
shoulder. That was crazy. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah, again, I talk about the storyboards. If you the storyboards and the plan for the future, which is a little bit altered, but yeah, that Lois Lane moment where that was Darkseid eviscerated her, and Batman didn't get to save her, which is why Superman succumbs to the anti-life equation and becomes evil. And then if Zack's initial arc, that Bruce was gonna have that that final sacrifice, and that's where he was gonna jump in front of Darkseid's laser beams and save Lois. And he, it kind of hits home with the Joker line at the end, at the end of the movie where he says, how many times are you gonna let the world fail before you die, or something to that effect. This scene just made so much more sense. Because I mean, you got even Barry Allen injecting his own, because he is a scientist, he is a really smart guy, and you got him to go past the speed of light, but also he explained and set up his power for later on in the movie, in which, you know, weird things with time happens when I run past the speed of light. And then I don't think this happened in the Whedon cut, but you didn't see it reverse in the Whedon cut. He touched it as it touched the water. So that's set up, you know, Flash's power at the end. And I thought, man, they really thought this through. It was awesome. You know, you got to see the man, you got to hear the Man of Steel theme. You saw the Pa Kent picture fall into the water. It was emotional.
Yeah.
And you got to see the flaws and some of the, you know, characteristics of the League members come out. You had Batman, who was like, we're freaking doing this. Aquaman was like, I don't know, man, he's backing out. This is not right. Aquaman had a sense of morality, right? Wonder Woman, I think, kind of was in the middle, like, I don't know, like, and of course, yeah, you get the nightmare sequence again, and I think you know, they missed out on so much in the it's like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and then I love the whole, like, I mean, even before, like, once they got to Star Labs, I love how, like, Cyborg, like, you know, he went into their Star Lab systems and told everyone to evacuate.
Oh yeah.
Like, you see Silas Stone, like, on the phone, and he goes, yeah, it's someone's trying to hack us, and then he sees the lead and he goes, never mind, off alarm.
Yeah.
It's never mind, I'm just gonna leave. And so, like, that was cool seeing Cyborg walk in with the League and kind of like say, like, yeah, like, we're the heroes.
Yeah.
We're like, I'm walking with the gods, basically. And,
yeah.
And that was so cool. That was a cool moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
it's one of those scenes that Go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
And then sorry, I was gonna say, like, and then you got, like, Superman fighting the League. That scene was, I don't know if it was better. I mean, it was better. I do like the fact that, you know, Superman was about to kill Batman. Yeah. And I love how, like, Batman was using his gauntlets to, like, you know, to withstand his beams. And then you got Lois, you know, come in and kind of, you know, save the day again, which is kind of like a, you know, it's kind of like a response to what happened with Batman vs Superman, where you got Batman about to kill Superman, and then you got Lois saving the day again. But this is the complete reversal. Yeah. So that was kind of cool.
And it made a lot more sense because Lois, you know, Martian Manhunter had gone to explain to Lois, you need to come back. You need to come back to the world. So she does. She gets up off her butt, and she resumes work. But before going there, she buys the officer a coffee, and she's there on scene already. So it makes more sense that she doesn't just show up out of a cab. She was there, which is why she could run over there, and it just made sense. And I don't know if you got the little hint, you know, when, you know, speaking of the Superman Lois Lane thing, she was in bed, she wakes up, she opens the drawer. Do you remember it was in the drawer, the pregnancy test? Yeah. So I don't know. I know it was hinting, well, Zack's original vision was that Lois and Bruce have a relationship. And I think that there could have been some interesting things there, though it would have been a hard sell for a lot of people. But I do think in this, I mean, Zack has made a lot of comments that he's changed up the story now that this has come out. And I think if this was to continue, I think this would be Clark's baby. So I think this would be Superman's son. So, but I think it was also a nod at, hey, you know, my plan was for there to be a baby. And yeah, the fight scene itself, though, you know, in terms of the fight scene, it was just, it played out a little bit just like it did in Joss League. The only thing is they added a little bit more scenes, you know, Flash running at Superman and him just kind of bypassing him, which was kind of cool. And he mistakenly attacks Arthur. So it pretty much played out the same, except there's no, do you bleed line? And Batman just didn't seem as like, I mean, he seems insignificant in the face of a god like Superman, but it didn't degrade his character. The Justice League scene degraded his character, and it just, it didn't fit. But this scene itself was a lot better.
You know, Henry Cavill didn't have any lines in this scene at all. Throughout the entire movie, you'll he's a man of few words.
He is.
The words that they gave him were all very hopeful.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, you know, they say that this is well, some people refer to this as the you know, the trilogy, Man of Steel trilogy. I do wish we would get more of Henry Cavill, because when he is on screen, he's just captivating. It's like, man, this is Superman on screen, man. Like, it's, I do wish we got a little bit more backstory into why he chose the black suit. I mean, you know, obviously they don't go into the details, but hey, black suit looked awesome and I love that Zack, you know, had that in mind to color correct this later on, despite WB. So man, Zack is just a rebel. That's the man right there. Superman, yeah, Superman. Silas Stone, man, him, and you know his son Cyborg, the emotional linchpins of this movie, and damn, the biggest cutout scene, you know, is his sacrifice. Oh man, that hit hard, man. I was getting close to tears, you know, like you know, with him, everything that he's trying to correct with his son. You know, I think a lot of people can relate to that. You know, they're a father or a mother that, especially the fathers out there who, you know, who would love to get a second chance, and Silas got to get a second chance, and man, it was beautiful. I gotta say, that's all I gotta say about Silas Stone. It was a shame that he was cut out to the extent that he was, and his sacrifice was cut out of the Whedon cut.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Especially like the aftermath, and then like the Flash just coming in and say like, oh, what happened, and then you see,
Yeah,
like they just walk into something very tragic.
yeah,
right? And they have no idea what just
yeah,
happened.
and yeah.
Because they already developed that bond already.
Yeah, Arthur lost his parents too, or his mom, so Arthur kind of related to him too. He was like, "This man just lost his," you know, like you get more Arthur Curry even in this movie, in the cyborg scenes too. Yeah, Silas Stone.
Like that's probably why he wasn't, Arthur wasn't. He was kind of against like Cyborg dealing with the mother boxes.
Yeah.
He's like, this guy just lost his parents.
Yeah.
Like, do we really want to trust him? I'm paraphrasing, but like that just shows like the struggles that Arthur went through when growing up after losing his mom.
Yeah.
And so that's a good point.
Yeah.
So shout out to Silas Stone, man, Terminator.
Yeah.
He always makes those emotional.
Remind everyone, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. But yeah, the Gotham Harbor scene. Go ahead and talk about it. I'm going to talk about what stuck out to me.
Okay, so this scene was way better than the last one that we got, and I'm just gonna start with the best one. It's the Flash scene, like when he saves the debris.
Yeah, that was sweet.
That felt that like from the tower, and it was gonna like fall on the hostages, and he was saved. He literally grabbed every debris that was gonna fall on the hostages and just saved all of them. That was what we saw. Even though we saw that in the trailer, I didn't know what was happening. But seeing it play out, so godlike, and I was like, holy crap! I was like, oh my god, that was crazy.
Beautiful shot. And I'm glad he's just not a guy who pushes people and runs away. That was so stupid. Come on. But yeah, that scene was absolutely beautiful. You know what stood out to me the most? There were so many scenes. Obviously, I love Aquaman's little part in there. Cyborg, taking over the whatever the machine was called. But you know what stood out to me? Wonder Woman and her new theme song. Good Lord, her action is the best in this movie. She goes toe to toe, and you hear you hear that that lady singing in the background. Whoo, just hypnotizing, and it just gets, oh man, Wonder Woman is just such a badass in this movie. And I think, again, I talked about this in the spoiler or the non-spoiler reviews. Just Zack knows how to do Wonder Woman. The thing she does with her she like laces up her lasso, pulls out that shield. Oh man, I was just ready to fight. I was ready to fight somebody. I was like jumping up, walking around the room. And but everything about that scene was amazing. Batman's action looked better in this. I mean, there was only a couple different things that happened, but yeah. Oh,
you should make a Wonder Woman's song
my own
your alarm music.
Oh, huh.
That would be pretty cool to wake up.
Yeah. Oh man, for sure. And I think Tom Hulkenberg, Junkie XL's 4 hour soundtrack came out last night, and I can't wait to
Oh,
work
really?
out to the whole thing. Yeah, yesterday I was working out, and I had the War Power, their theme song, the Just League theme song. I just had it playing on
Yeah.
repeat. I was hyped. Cannot,
Yeah.
man. Unity, the final act.
Oh man, so much has happened in this one. I mean, you got Flash running around in circles like a million times. You got Cyborg, trying to separate the mother boxes, but then you got Steppenwolf like coming behind him and like hitting him, and then you got Wonder Woman cutting off Steppenwolf's head. I
You,
mean, what more can you ask for?
dude,
And then
everyone got their shine in this
everyone got their
sequence.
shine, dude.
Yeah, it was crazy. So, yeah, so first off, you get Wonder Woman kind of leading the charge, and you get Steppenwolf actually being a bad guy and antagonizing her.
Yeah,
You chose to stay here with these guys, these puny mortals, and so you get Steppenwolf being a badass. The Flash is doing some new powers. It shows his healing powers. There's just a lot more depth.
yeah,
Yeah, Cyborg gets to get his sequence, where he says, "I'm not alone." And then the
yeah.
heart
That
of
was
the
so
movie,
good. Yeah.
Cyborg gets his sequences, and then Aquaman, yeah, just coming up behind Steppenwolf, shocked the hell out of me. I was like, oh, he just stabbed him right in the back, and then obviously Superman just
That was
raining
the
down
best.
hellfire on this dude. It was
Yeah.
just the unity of the mother box scene, but it was also the league uniting as a whole, and just felt so satisfying. And then to see, obviously, the highlight, obviously, you get to see Darkseid. They're about to succeed. My mind was blown. I was like, oh my God, the
Oh
unity
my God.
happened.
Oh,
The unity happened. And I was like, this is totally different. How's this gonna
I know.
work? And then Flash, dude, then
Oh my
Flash runs
God.
back in
This
time.
scene.
Man, that's just,
I,
yeah, I
I
told
teared
you.
up.
I told you.
He's like this. He's
Yeah,
like,
that was so sweet. And I told you, I recanted. I got to recant the story. My little brother walked in to the room as I was watching this scene, and he was like, "Hold the fuck up! What is happening right now?" He walked in, no context. He just saw the Flash do that, and he was like, "What the hell is happening?" It just there's
oh
no,
my God.
Zack Snyder's visuals are the best, and yeah, this scene was just everything culminated. Everything culminated so beautifully, and yeah, so nothing, yeah,
Nothing will ever top. I don't think anything would top that scene with Flash just reversing time.
yeah.
That was
Andy
that
Muschietti
was
has some work to do, man. How is he?
yeah.
I don't know how he's gonna top. I hope he does fix how Flash runs, because I'm still not down with the little weird
Yeah.
hand motions he does.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like it looks like he's like gliding through while he's running.
Yeah, he
I
tried
don't
to do
know.
something different. And I applaud him for that, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think
I did watch an interview where he said he does yoga. He incorporates yoga and dance.
yeah,
He actually studied like I think kung fu. Like I think, and then he went to China to learn
wow,
from the masters.
wow,
So he did a lot of studying to play this role. And so
yeah.
you kind of see
He wanted
that
to
in
make it his
the
own,
Flash
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
again, I do like Ezra Miller as the Flash. I know there's a lot of controversy around him, but outside of that controversy, I do like him, and
Yeah.
I'm supporting. I'm just going to support the Flash movie, and I hope he does well. I'm just saying, Andy
Yeah.
Muschietti has some work to do to try and top that scene right there.
I
Let's
bet you,
get.
I bet you he watched it. He's like, oh
Damn
fuck,
it,
I
yeah,
need to like, I need to
yeah.
rewrite this thing real quick.
Let's about it, Darren. What you think? Joker,
Man, yeah,
Deathstroke, Mara.
man, you got so much. I mean, you got Joker kind of like talking about what happened during that time. He's talking about Dick Grayson dying, and you got him talking about Lois Lane dying, and then man,
They,
there's a lot that went on. I
it's
mean,
like it was only a few minutes, but yeah, they went back and forth at each other, just punching
yeah,
each other verbally. You know what I'm saying? Like Batman
yeah,
and Joker just threatening each other, them calling a truce. I think
yeah.
so. What happens is Joker has a mother box, and they didn't. I don't think they showed it. Did they show it? I'm pretty sure Joker has a mother box.
Oh,
And
really? Okay.
if I was the storyboards, I think he had a mother box. I might be wrong with that. Don't quote me on that, guys. But I think that's, you know, the plan was involved a mother box, and when Superman shows up, he eventually wrecks shop, and that's when, you know, the Flash goes into this the cosmic treadmill and tries to warn Bruce. I think that's what happens. But don't quote me on that. But yeah, there was so much layers. The highlight, of course, well, one, Amber Heard's accent. I don't know about it, man. I don't know. Amber Heard's accent, yeah. But I like Amber Heard as Mira. It's cool. Her as a person, I don't know. But Amber Heard's Mira, awesome. Deathstroke, I wish we got to see him in action. But yeah, the highlight, of course, is Jared Leto's performance. And I think everyone has given him a pass now at this point, because if you've seen this, he is a great Joker. You know, with the interaction between the two was amazing. We got to do a bigger, longer video about that. I'm going to reread those storyboards that weren't supposed to be released, and we got to do a future video on the exact full plan for the nightmare scene. So we'll do that in the future, guys. You know, here's what we didn't get to in this. We didn't get to Spotlight Avenue. Want to talk about Ryan Choi. He was amazing. I want to see more of that guy in the future. So Darren, you know what let's do? Let's save that for the stream, because we're coming up on the 45-minute mark. But yeah, guys, we're gonna do a live stream pretty soon, hopefully at some point this weekend. So look out for that. Watch Justice League 1 or 2 more times, just like we plan to do. Hopefully we have more details to talk about, but if we missed anything, drop them down in the comments below so we can all talk about them. We'll pull up your comments for sure. And yeah, guys, congratulations to us. We did it. And now we get to just bask in the victory right now, watching Zack Snyder's Justice League all week. Yeah, let's restore the Snyderverse. All right, guys. Peace.
All right, guys. Late.